anniversary. You may start now.
Imagine it's the year 2025 and We Lab Bank did it again. Another revolutionary turned around, redefined the standard of the financial well-being and empowered the people of Hong Kong to not only be able to avoid financial vulnerability, but to be able to grow their financial wealth with We Lab Bank. Good afternoon, esteemed judges, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Letitia. I'm here with Atipat, Parishaya, and Carl, and together we're Flame Tree Consulting. And we're here to make sure that this is We Lab's Bank reality.
So today, our team is here to present you how can WeLab ensure success with its ambitious goal of improving financial health of Hong Kong people with the right new product and services. We have identified 4 key issues: incomprehensive target segmentation, lack of personalized offerings, and robust go-to-market plan. And lastly, no clear foundation of financial sustainability. Thus, our recommendations today will include a guideline of comprehensive need-based customer segmentation, personalized offerings from wealth management, risk management to revolving loans, and robust go-to-market strategy. But before diving into the details of our recommendation, first, let's look at our analysis. Hong Kongers are facing a vicious cycle with their financial health. Those who have insufficient financial literacy due to the belief of insufficient financial services, leading to improper financial planning, where approximately 68% of people believe that wealth management is essential, yet 80% don't have clear financial goals. As a result, they could not efficiently manage budget to meet regular expenditures, leading high financial vulnerability. And with the unhealthy financial well-being in Hong Kong, this is where WeLab Bank aims to improve the financial well-being of our Hong Kong people. The current offerings include our basic banking product and services, Go Safe Time Deposit, Go Flexi Loan, and both virtual and physical debit card for customers to enjoy. However, even with fundamental banking services being offered, it is not enough to break the Hong Kongers out of their vicious cycle, because current offering pushes saving habits, but not enough. Lending is just a short-lived aid, and current products do not provide a foundation for the need of financial literacy. However, achieving financial literacy for all of Hong Kong is quite the ambition that would require tremendous efforts. Hence, this begs the key question: should WeLab Bank pursue this ambition? And yes, they should. Here's why. To allow good personal finance behavior, comprehensive offering must be introduced to best serve and influence customer behavior. WeLab Bank could better serve customers with more data points collected to introduce new comprehensive offerings and fight in the gaps where virtual banks could do better than incumbents, getting products to market faster. This leads to an increase in customer lifetime value for WeLab Bank, as there are more sources of revenue and platform stickiness. We also believe that this action will be beneficial for WeLab Bank in the long run, as it allows for market testing and learning. Thus, today we came to propose 5 steps that will successfully ensure a quality offering by WeLab Bank to improve the financial health of Hong Kong people.
Currently, WeLab Bank visualizes its segment as just a retail customer, but with the core of any virtual bank lies the ability to be customer-centric, hence why a distinctive segmentation is required. Now, when looking at segmentation, the best way to understand the different financial needs is to understand the different life stages that a customer goes through, because the different stages has different priorities and financial capabilities, leading to different needs for financial guidance. So when we look at our customers throughout their lifetime, they generally follow a 4-stage process, in which they tend to begin as first financial starters, aged around 13 to 19, where the parents will provide them a savings deposits and the kids are first made aware of financial services. Then as they grow, they move on to wealth accumulators, aged around mid-20s, where their aim is to become financially independent. They tackle maintaining regular expenses, responsibly paying off bills, while still wanting to save enough for long-term prosperity. Then they move up to wealth acceleration, where they're much older now, and they are no longer just financially independent, but they're starting providing for the household, children's schooling expense, and taking care of parents and so on. So they really require the ability to grow their wealth in a way that they can accommodate to the growing dependency. And finally, they move on to the last stage where they're completely settled down and they're looking at how best they can transfer the accumulated wealth to their loved ones. Now, understanding who our customers are and their needs is just the first step. What's required now is to determine which segments we can prioritize. And when it comes to prioritizing, there are 4 main criteria to consider. First of all, is do we currently and can we possibly obtain the capability to serve the segment? Second of all, is it aligned with the goal of being able to change consumer behavior and instill proper financial literacy? And third, considering operational sustainability is crucial, cost to serve should also be considered. And finally, as you really want to grow with them throughout their life stages, it is important to denote the ability to retain our customers. So with that, we believe that for effective penetration, given the following criteria, our primary segments to focus on should be that of wealth accumulators and wealth accelerators, and understanding that there is a close linkage with wealth accelerators and financial starters, as those in wealth accelerators tend to be family people providing for those in financial starters as their kids. We can focus on financial starters as a secondary segment. Now, once we've understood the different underlying financial needs, prioritize the segments, we can actually determine the product and service that we would best serve them. Wealth management is the first to cater to financial planning, tax planning, financial literacy, maintaining expenses. Then insurance and risk management to cater to security. And finally, other banking products to cater to the need of credit. So by successfully personalizing to cater, it paves a better path for WeLab Bank to best prioritize in order to personalize product offerings to successfully cater to their customers.
Now that we determine the product, it's now important to determine how we can win by deciding how to bring about those capabilities, which boils down to building, acquiring, and partnering. In order to determine the best option, 3 main criteria will be used: time to market, cost of option, and ability to reach the level of expertise providing such services. Beginning with wealth management, we believe the right option is to partner, considering we have existing resources that can be leveraged. While for insurance and risk management, partnering is the most favorable due to better expertise and time to market. And lastly, for revolving loans, it is possible for WeLab to build, considering this fall along the lines of WeLab expertise. Starting with wealth management, WeLab has an investor that has expertise in wealth management, Allianz. With this collaboration between WeLab and Allianz, WeLab will be able to access investment products. However, to put these features to customer to use, Quantifeed, a digital wealth platform creators, can help WeLab to launch these features faster and giving customer a unique virtual wealth management experience. With the support of Allianz and in-app user experience generated by Quantifeed, WeLab will be able to provide various products under wealth management appropriately, with key differentiating points leveraging on fund of funds investment. Moving on to the second offering, insurance and risk management, where partnership is the optimal option, will be provided by Boitech, the insurance platform provider with a large customer base in Hong Kong and a wide range of insurance products. Integrating Boitech insurance product in the WeLab platform will benefit both parties. WeLab will answering needs by providing comprehensive products which create opportunity to gain revenue from cross-selling, and nonetheless share some Boitech user base. On the other hand, Boitech will not only gain awareness from WeLab user, but at the same time can offer their customer the better financial service via WeLab application. Last but not least, the revolving loan, which WeLab has ability to build on our own system, introduce to you the WeLab credit card for customers who need a short-term loan. So how does this work? In order to come up with a credit rating system that accommodates to the nature of current segment, WeLab must leverage on 2 sources, which are first, the CDI, which provides the record of transactions and WeLab own data collection from transaction history, financial product purchasing behaviors, and credit record of the current user. Moreover, this leverages on pre-existing capabilities like the debit card to proceed verification for the online payments. So the key takeaway is that with partnerships for wealth management, partnership for insurance and risk management, and building on revolving loan, WeLab will be able to promote financial well-being to Hong Kong people.
So now that we've paved the path, let's see how these new services will look and how each segment will be catered to. Introducing to you WeLab Bank Re-envisioned, no longer just a virtual bank, building your financial prosperity with WeLab Bank. The additional products and services being offered to help WeLab Bank bring its ambitious goals is first, by providing comprehensive knowledge of the need to create financial literacy to ensure that they're not exposed to financial vulnerability. Second, by providing comprehensive products and services, WeLab Bank is not just helping consumers understand financial literacy, but actually be able to achieve it. And finally, goal-based wealth management allows them to achieve long-term prospects in an appropriate manner. And this will be done prominently in every life stage. However, as personalization is key, let us walk you through how we'll be able to achieve low financial vulnerability, enhance financial knowledge, and establish appropriate saving and investment goals while still personalizing to each segment needs. So when customers first start out with us, they tend to be wealth accumulators, where they're just starting to be financially independent, meaning not a lot of good personal finance behavior is established here. Hence, the core services that will be offered will be budget tracking and analysis to ensure appropriate expenditure and maintenance of funds. Because with proper maintenance of funds, consumers can now look at goal-based investments in a passive manner, such as portfolio investment, to enhance their gains for long-term prospects. Additionally, we'll be providing financial education to help instill a good foundation in good personal finance behavior, as well as a line of credit that still encourages financial literacy and enhanced rewards. However, finances are never stagnant, and customers will be able to move up to the stage of wealth acceleration. This is where they need to be able to successfully provide for other people than just themselves, like family or children or parents. Hence, core products that will be pushed here is goal-based wealth management for active investments such as thematic investments, asset class allocation, and real estate planning, as well as insurance for security and credit cards with enhanced rewards. Understanding that a strong foundation begins at the bottom, financial starters must also be made aware, where you really want to educate the kids from the beginning about good personal finance behaviors. So educational videos, expense trackers, and a deposit option for the long run. Finally, to successfully put everything together, a robust go-to-market strategy must be implemented to actually make our customers aware of this renewed services. So the key message will be to build financial prosperity together. This will be leveraging on multiple videos with different key messages to cater to the different segments, such as for wealth accumulators, we'll be talking about how they can actually achieve their future with our offerings. With wealth accelerators, the key message that will be highlighted is how they can provide sufficiently continuously. And finally, for financial starters, we'll be looking into how to push financial prosperity for their children as the key message. Thus, with personalized offerings and a robust go-to-market strategy, WeLab Bank will be able to successfully onboard and retain customers in the long run.
So seeing how our strategy is going to look like, we are actually very positive about our plan. And in fact, we have backed it up with 3 main KPIs to be achieved by 2025. First, we believe that with the mission to improve Hong Kong financial well-being, WeLab Bank Wealth Management Unit could have up to 5.4 billion Hong Kong dollar in asset under management. Second, the total premium collection from customer is expected to reach 320 HKD, allowing more Hong Kong people to better manage critical personal risk. Lastly, cumulative spending from credit card is expected to reach 2.7 billion HKD, granting users the flexibility in cash flow management. Altogether, we expect a CAGR uplift of non-interest income of 8% from the base of 18 to 26%. Additionally, we expect the total revenue to reach 600 million Hong Kong dollar by 2025 with a CAGR of 33% from the base of 27%. Our recommendation is expected to have a total incremental operating expense of 79 million Hong Kong dollar, mainly driven by an interest expense on deposit and marketing expense. The capital expenditure is estimated to be 5 million Hong Kong dollar from the development of API system. Combining revenue and cost together, the pre-provision operating profit is expected to break even in 2024 and reach 44 million HKD by 2025 with a 7% margin. And to better organize our recommendation to ensure success, we have come up with...
Can I pause your team there for a question on if you can go back to the page on cost?
Sure.
If I remember correctly, you lead it to kind of 6 million Hong Kong dollar for personnel cost.
Yes.
Could you elaborate a little bit more on what are you envisioning that goes into personnel? Because 6 million Hong Kong dollar doesn't seem to be a lot. So just wanted to understand what's that for and how does it map with all the activities that you plan to do? Because there are a lot of things to do in how you lay out the strategy.
Yeah, sure. So just to let me get the numbers out first. The 6 million Hong Kong dollar in that year is from hiring additional 135 people with our strategy. We know that this is a lot comparing to the base of 175, but our ambition is our goal is very ambitious, trying to launch wealth management team, trying to launch an insurance team, and trying to launch a revolving credit loan team. So we have a backup slide as to how would the human resources would be worked out if you go back to that page. That's the page. Yeah. So in a sense, there would be the new people would be in two main aspects. The first aspect is that in that direct function, is in the how HR would come into play slide in the backup. Yeah, but two main function, the direct function of their team, as I've mentioned before, by the new product, and supporting function. Supporting function would include things like IT team, customer service team, and etc. So yeah, the number is from 135 additional people to be hired in total. But in that year, we are expecting to hire around 15 people more.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So yeah, going back to our implementation timeline, we believe that application development, market testing, contacting potential partner, and recruitment could start right away. We expect most of our plan to be fully launched by the first half of next year, and while credit card could be up in the market as early as the end of this year. Up until now, we believe that the numbers have proven its worth. But to bulletproof our recommendation, we also identify the key risks that might emerge and back it up with mitigation actions. The most significant risk we see is the inability to further engage users in our new services. With that risk, we see that WeLab Bank must reevaluate the marketing plan and review key functions to be developed. So this leads us to the end of the presentation, where we have ensured financial well-being by highlighting different segments to best understand their financial needs, prioritizing the right segment, defining where to play, determining the right offering to win in the market, establishing the best way to go to market and build capability, and lastly, validating everything through financial sustainability. We believe that WeLab Bank, through our recommendation, will achieve its great ambition, because 5 years from now, WeLab Bank will not just be any virtual bank, but the main contributor of Hong Kong financial well-being. Thank you for your attention, and we are now ready for Q&A.
I'd like to ask a question, please.
Sure.
So with the strategies that you have proposed, and if WeLab Bank does achieve and fulfill all those strategies, where would that take us? Would it not take us to a place where traditional banks are at the moment? And why would this be right for virtual bank or WeLab Bank?
So I'll answer that, and then my colleague will further add on to that. Thank you for your question, and that's actually a very good concern. So when we were highlighting what kind of services to actually put out or to actually use to capture the segments that we've highlighted in order to ensure that we're still differentiated from traditional banks as well as other virtual banks, we actually analyzed a couple of services in the first place. Let me just pull that up really quickly. But we looked into all of the following services, and we looked at what financial needs that our current segments actually require. Additionally, we looked at what we can actually offer as a virtual bank, which is, first of all, complete digitization. So that means that they can actually, convenience is the first step. Second aspect is what we're actually good at, and currently with our Go Save and our Go Lending, and what we actually stand for, being the bank for the people, and how everything that we're trying to do is we're trying to push for the end goal or the end consumer's prosperity, which is why, as you you can see with all of our strategies, everything was centric around what they actually need from us. So that was what we're trying to do in terms of a key differentiating from traditional banks as other virtual banks, is how we better understand customers, how we provide it on a digital platform, and how we can actually be continuously adaptive to cater to the differentiating needs throughout their different life stages.
Okay, thank you.
How do you see the future customer behavior of digital banks? Like, what do you think they actually look for, right? Especially like because I think some of the analysis saying like a customer might have multiple bank accounts and banking with multiple banks. Right? So how would you like to see then they will use differently or expect something differently from this new bank account with eBank in your proposal?
So just to quickly answer your question first, and my friend might add on to that, we see that the basic need of banking would still be there. However, the value delivery channel would be different in the future. For example, the rise of banking, digital banking, means that customer can do many things online right now, and that's exactly why we are catering here today to like our customer segment. Additionally, the needs of the customer would evolve based on what we have analyzed in the first step. So as they grow up, they would have different needs based on their wealth. And I think my friend would be happy to explain a little bit more under that.
Mm-hmm. So like my colleague mentioned, what we actually believe is the key change in the behavior is the full adoption of digitization. Although digital platforms are becoming increasingly more integrated in our lifestyle, it's becoming a core product throughout all the different life stages. Like my parents are beginning to rely more on digital platforms, where in the past it was unimaginable that you could be able to reach like an older generation as opposed to just catering to the younger generation. So things, the adoption of fully digitized products is becoming the core. So which is why I believe this is where we can actually win. When we have products, when we have companies like WeLab Bank, which can actually offer such a wide array of products and services and continually adapt to the different needs and do it all completely digitized. That's where our core will become, especially when the adoption increases continuously.
May I also ask an add-on question? So when banks are becoming digitized, and a lot of the traditional banks are doing that, we are seeing the traditional banks in Hong Kong getting very, very active, maybe in defense of the virtual banks. So what's to stop a traditional bank from digitizing along the lines that you're thinking? And they have a lot more resources. How does WeLab Bank fight against them?
Yeah, so what we believe that what digital banking has over the incumbents is the fact that they are startup by their core. So they can test better, learn better, and getting product to the market even better. With that, the possibility of getting many products, trying everything first, getting ahead of time before the incumbents is very higher. So that is the age that we see digital bank could win over those traditional banks.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, sorry, this is Tiffany. So might be quite a specific question. So I appreciate the analysis you did in figuring out the strategy in partnering or building different products. Looking at your implementation strategy, it looks like your plan is to do a lot of the very heavy lifting, development and product work all at the same time across the different products, and launch at the same time. I'm just wondering from a resourcing or planning perspective, what is the plan there? Having all the resources engaged in one period, and after launch, how would you then engage those resources, or what would the plan be?
Yes, just to launch the product, that is exactly why we are looking heavily into partnerships, kind of strategy, except for credit card where we can build on our own due to the similarity of our existing product to credit card. However, the main resource that should be employed here is the manpower that will be leveraged in each of the segments, such as like wealth and insurance. Within our financial model, we have factored in a 135 people to be employed and run these new products and services. We see that this number is highly possible because WeLab Bank in the past year have had over 175 employees in just 1 year. And our model is taking into account like 60 people to be hired in the first few years for the launch. After that, as WeLab Bank is scaling up and having more users, we are expecting WeLab Bank to hire around 15 to 20 more people a year.
I guess feeding on Tiffany's question, if we kind of run into a resource constraint at some point and you have to choose among the 3 actions that you have, if you have to choose one, what would your prioritization be?
So yeah, I think that's a very good concern in terms of like the resources. And if we had to choose, we'd actually go with wealth management because of a couple of reasons. When we actually highlighted the different financial needs of our customer base, the one underlying issue that was consistent, although the need of it was slightly different, was actually the need to have better planning of their finances for like long-term goals. The goals might have differed in the different life stages, but this is where we believe that this particular offering would be able to actually cater to several different different segments while still maintaining our resources and not exploiting or straining ourselves to that extent.
So we just a quick add on to that. We also see wealth management as an anchor that can be leveraged on to further build other products such as insurance or credit card. For example, if the customer get older and they have enough some kind of enough wealth already, they might look into some kind of risk management, and in the future we could potentially introduce insurance product right after wealth management as well. So yeah, we see wealth management as an anchor of our strategy.
I have a question about your backup slide. I think it's 41.
Slide 41.
Yeah.
Oh, slide 41. Okay.
Yeah.
This one?
Yes, this one. And I actually kind of like echo with what other judges like Tiffany and also Jasper mentioned a bit. Say for insurance, and then you are now targeting also the wealth management. How about the other areas? Like, would that be like FX or budgeting tools would be a blue ocean for WeLab Bank?
So thank you for that. Actually, yes. So it's not a blue ocean per se, but budgeting tools is something that we actually plan to offer. If I can quickly go back to one of the features that we were trying to offer was actually budget tracking and analysis to provide a better maintenance and management of their funds so that they could actually reach their long-term goals, because savings cannot come about without having a proper budgeting plan in place. So and for the FX, we're looking at investments as a long-term run too to offer to our clients. So it's not that we're not going to be offering these products per se, but we believe that we need to offer the standard products as per other virtual banks within our realm, as well as what other incumbent banks are doing. But we need to have the key personalization and better engagement with our customers to actually win and excel in this market.
Thank you.
So before the session ends really quickly, we just wanted to thank everyone for their attention and their questions. And we hope that our recommendations were able to convince you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Flame Tree Advisory.